Welcome back. You're watching News World here on Newsroom Africa, Channel 405. The 15th of October marks the birthday of Afrobeat pioneer and human rights activist Fela Kuti, known to millions simply as Fela Kuti. In remembrance of this global icon, Nigerian-born musician Femi Koya is hosting an event to celebrate not only Kuti, but African music in general. And the event takes place on the 1st of November in Maboneng. We're now joined in studio by not only the event organizer, but also the man who appears on the lineup himself, among several other incredible Afrobeat musicians, Femi Koya. Thank you for joining us, Femi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we talk about this commemoration concert, if I can call it that, let's just talk about the man who was known as Fela Kuti. Maybe some of our viewers who may not be aware of this legend and his contribution to music and society, particularly not just Nigerian music, but on the global stage.
Yeah. I think Fela, more than just being a musician, is of course the man who fought, you know, for Nigerians' right. You know, his mother fought for Nigeria's right, and he's been a man who's always concerned about Africa in general, not just Nigeria. He's always been concerned about, you know, the rights of Africans, you know, as human beings, not just as just about Africa, you know, just who we are, to celebrate ourselves as being Africans and human rights.
All right. And Afrobeat music, walk us through what Afrobeat music is.
Well, Afrobeat is, if you break it down, it means African beat.
Yes.
So
combination of different African beats.
Combination of different African element and rhythm. But Fela Kuti made use of a lot of the brass session. It was very, very close with James Brown. So at that time, there's a lot of funk, you know, that was happening. So he had that idea of bringing that into African music. And I think with the Gbedu drums, which is like a traditional Nigerian, you know, drum, and that shaped Afrobeat, which Fela Kuti pioneered.
Talking about Fela Kuti pioneering Afrobeat and you know, the instruments he's used, what impact did his music have on the global stage, and maybe for African artists such as yourself, who's obviously been inspired by this legendary
well,
musician.
big time. It's about, you know, it's all about the community as well. I think his music really impacted the community. It's about, Fela talked about, you know, everything that was happening here during apartheid. He talked about Zimbabwe when it was Rhodesia. He talked about, you know, all African countries, and of course, majorly Nigeria. All the whole government mess that he was dealing with, and it was, I mean, this is the only man who stood against the government. It didn't even need the people for him to tell the government what is right to do for the people. So he dealt with religious stuff as well, not just the government, but, you know, majorly Fela was this man who's not going to take, you can't beat him down for what he knows. And his music impacted not just Nigerians, impacted the whole African, impacted the world. Fela is a global phenomenon.
Okay, we're joined in studio by Femi Koya. Femi, you now settled in South Africa. You've been living here for quite some time now, but obviously your music is still influenced by your home country. Let's talk a little bit about the culture, your country, the music.
Well, Nigerian culture is very, 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 you know, it's very huge. It's
and
wide.
Music industry is one of the biggest industries on the continent as well, if not the biggest.
Well, at the moment, it is the biggest. But at some point, it was quiet. There was nothing happening. I'll imagine it as a transition. Because before this modern Afrobeats, which we all know, because I mean, everybody knows that now Afrobeats is different from Afrobeat. The Afrobeat is the Fela Kuti. And the Afrobeat, it's your Wizkid, Davido, Bono Boy.
We've obviously been influenced at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure. So the transition period, it was very quiet in Nigeria. The music scene was, I'm talking about 2005, 2006, everything was quiet until this new transition and the whole music scene has now changed. I mean, now Nigerian music industry is, it's the #1 in the world. The world is looking at it at the moment.
It's so recognizable. You hear an Afrobeat, you hear that distinct style of music, and you can already, you know, attribute it to a Nigerian artist or coming all the way from Nigeria. And do you think that's the reason why, and that's the reason behind Nigeria's success as a music industry?
Well, I wouldn't say. I think also it's more that there's a saying that Nigeria know they carry last, which means you know, a Nigerian man, you find yourself anywhere, you make it happen. You don't be at the last position. You always make things work. So I think that's the strategy. I think that's the main point. And for me, it is that the fact that we're always on the go. If you've ever been in Lagos, you know the reason why. We're always on the go. You know, whether for the good or the bad, we're always on the go. On the go. So I think that's one of the attributes that makes you, you know, want to see the music in that direction. And I don't follow in that direction because I still believe in, you know, in your traditional style of the music.
Hence your influence is Fela.
Yes. I mean, I'm happy with the whole different style and taking the music to a new level, but I still, you know, I'm in love with the element. And for me, my music is all about bringing people together and also just uniting people. And I think that's very, very, very much important than just making people just jump up and down and that's it.
Definitely.
You know, there has to be a message behind, you know, each song. There has to be something that I'm trying to change or trying to speak to people about, because I don't also like to the way Fela walked in terms of like facing the government a lot, but I think it's high time we start looking at the people on the ground, the community itself, rather than just trying to deal with the government all the time, because there's nothing changing.
All right, let's maybe talk about the concert happening at the memorial. Can I call it that?
Tribute show to Fela Kuti.
Tribute, yes, there we go. Happening on the 1st of November in Maboneng.
Yes, at the Afro Brew in Maboneng. Yeah.
What can we expect?
Well, that's going to be, I'll be having a 9-piece outfit, serious Afrobeat band on stage.
Yeah.
We'll be dishing out classics from Fela Kuti, like your Zombie, your Shakara, Lady, Mr. Follow Follow.
Yeah.
And those of you who know teacher as well, please come through. We'll tell you, teacher, don't teach me nonsense.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of vibe that's going to happen on that day. You know, we'll have face painting. It's just going to be a different vibe.
Ticket prices?
Ticket is very, very cheap, just 100 Rand.
100 Rand.
You know, just for the people to come through and let's celebrate Fela.
All right.
Kuti.
I mean, you mentioned, obviously you're on the lineup and we're going to be doing a lot of Fela Kuti's music.
Yes.
You know, you're going to be doing a lot of covers. What else is on? Who else is on the lineup?
All right. We're doing some, of course, my music as well. And we'll be having the granddaughter of the late Miriam Makeba as well. We'll be doing a song for Miriam Makeba as well. So Fela Cantation is really not just about Fela Kuti, but it's a
tribute to the legends.
To the African legends,
Yes.
you know, their music as well. So that's very, very cool. It's very important. And as well, we'll be having the Emirates Jazz Band. We'll be opening up. That's from Universal Music. Big things happening on
Big things
day,
happening.
So, yeah.
All right. Time again?
Time is 8 p.m.
8 p.m. So
Yeah.
the 1st of November, you go there. And what are we calling the tribute concert?
The tribute concert is called Fela Cantation.
Fela Cantation.
So it's simply Fela Incantation. So we'll be bringing back the spirit of Fela Kuti in music and in style. So come with your beads, you know, your African stuff, face painting. Let's have fun.
We're going to, have some fun there, sing along, go down memory lane.
Yep.
Learn some interesting new music as well.
For sure.
All right. There
Fela
you go.
Kuti coming back alive in a new style.
Well, there you have it. Femi Koya joining us in studio on Newsworld this evening. We are talking and we were celebrating the legend that is Fela Kuti and the upcoming concert now happening in Fela Incantation. Fela Cantation on the 1st of November at Maboneng. Where can we buy tickets quickly?
Right at the door of Maboneng.
All right.
And get your tickets.
Okay, cool. Newsworld's going to take a short break, but thank you for joining us. When we come back, we are going to take a look at the Africa Rising Film Festival that's making its return and some more news and analysis from around the world.